At the beginning of episode 2, we get hit with a really gory scene that comes out of nowhere, which is pretty shocking for the viewers. Honestly, the music that plays over it feels a lot like something you'd hear in the game Dead Island, making it even more intense. We learn that people who are affected by this curse lose their sanity. This means they get really confused and can't think straight, which causes them to hurt others. It adds a lot of scary moments to the episode and that makes everything feel really chaotic and wild. I've noticed something interesting about this cursed school. When the students land, they get split into two groups. One of the students we meet is a girl named Yuka. She has beautiful blue eyes and a really kind heart, which makes her stand out. Alongside her is a boy named Satoshi. In their classroom, he's reading a newspaper, and he finds out that the school they are stuck in is called Heavenly Host Elementary School. But here's the creepy part, this school has a really bad history with some criminal stuff that happened there in the past. Then, Yuka tells Satoshi that she needs to use the bathroom. So, they go to the restroom together, but when they get there, they find that the door is locked. That's really strange because the bathroom looks just like the one where we saw a girl hanging in the last episode, which makes everything feel even scarier. It's like they're trapped in a place with a dark secret, and Hula and Satoshi have to figure out what's going on while dealing with all the creepy stuff around them. A student named Shinozaki feels a really bad headache just from looking at a clock. Suddenly, a ghost child, who looks familiar because he was in the newspaper, pops up next to him with a creepy smile. Kishinuma-kun, who is with Shinozaki, is quickly warned not to look directly at the ghost, but he doesn't listen and looks anyway. The ghost then asks a scary question about who he should hurt first. Fortunately, no one gets hurt, and after that, the ghost disappears into thin air. After the ghost is gone, Shinozaki starts to feel better and recovers from her headache. Teacher Yui Shishido is stuck in the same spooky school all alone. While she's walking there, she reads a newspaper that talks about a really dreadful teacher who injures kids. The article says this teacher used scissors to cut out the victims' tongues, and it even describes a little girl who had most of her head taken off. It's pretty creepy. Then, Teacher Yui hears laughter coming from a classroom with the lights on. She recognizes one of the voices as a girl named Suzumoto-san. When she goes into the classroom, she sees Suzumoto-san sitting on the floor with two ghost friends. One ghost has a full head, but the other one looks really scary and has hardly any head left. Even though it's super gory and scary, Teacher Yui is brave and tries to talk to Suzumoto-san. She wants to keep the human girl away from the ghosts, but Suzumoto-san thinks the ghosts are her buddies and doesn't want to leave them. She isn't scared at all, even with the ghost that has one eye missing. As Teacher Yui gets closer, a ghost suddenly pushes her away. Then, the ghosts stand up and start dragging Suzumoto-san by her legs while she screams. She probably wishes she hadn't made friends with those ghost kids. Her face gets hurt from scraping against the floor, and she ends up crashing into a wall, which is really terrible. While Teacher Yui is sitting there in shock, she looks behind her and gets knocked out by a tall figure. It's a heated and startling scene. In another scene, Yuka and Satoshi run into one of the first ghosts we saw in the anime. They both ask the ghost, "How are you? And are you lost?" But instead of answering, the ghost just says, "Come this way." They follow the ghost to a door that seems to have appeared out of nowhere. When they open the two doors, they find themselves outside, and they're shocked to see dead bodies lying on both sides of the fence, looking like they've been shot in a war. Yuka then says she really needs to find a bathroom, so Satoshi tells her to climb the fence but warns her not to go into the forest. She agrees, but then she makes a questionable choice and asks the creepy ghost child to come with her, and to her surprise, the ghost agrees. As Yuka puts one knee over the fence, she suddenly sees a child ghost in the distance, and the ghost girl is yelling, "Give it back!" Yuka turns around, and out of nowhere, the ghost girl is right in her face, screaming, "Give it back!" Satoshi hears all the commotion and tries to help, but he finds himself locked inside the building and can't get out. Eventually, Yuka gets scared and runs back inside, but when she looks for Satoshi, he's completely gone, leaving her feeling scared and all alone. Yuka is running through her school, looking for her missing partner, when she suddenly bumps into a strange guy named Sakutaro Morishige. He seems a bit off and isn't scared at all by the scary things happening around them, like the creepy, decaying bodies. Right away, he recognizes Yuka as Machida's sister, which surprises her. Then, in a really disturbing way, he starts to hurt a dead body, acting like it's a game. He smiles at Yuka and offers to help her find her partner, but she feels really uncomfortable and says no. Sakutaro doesn't like that answer and starts chasing her, which makes Yuka very scared. She manages to escape and hides in a little hole in the school floor. While she's hiding, she meets a boy named Yuya Kizami, who is also looking for his lost sibling. They start talking and trying to figure things out together. Just then, Sakutaro calls out for Yuka, and she feels frightened again. Yuka asks Yuya for help, and he steps in to protect her. In a shocking moment, he stabs Sakutaro in the neck with a knife, and blood splatters everywhere like a volcano. As the episode comes to an end, Yuya calls Yuka his little sister in a really creepy way, leaving everyone wondering what will happen next.